Marvel Studios has been in a peculiar state lately, and their recent projects have a sparked mix of the both hope skepticism among fans. While that Atlanta Wolverine ended being the biggest hit this summer, these successes feel more like fleeting flashes and brilliance rather than indications of a full-scale MC revival. What Marvel desperately needs now is a follow-up with a high-profile, crowd-pleasing project that commands the momentum of Deadpool and shows that it wasn't just a lucky break. Yet, Marvel's decision to follow up with Agatha All Along feel like a pleasing movie, especially at a time when they need to win back the fans and secure the franchise the future. If Agatha All Along doesn't sound familiar, that's probably because that's gonna attract several name changes. Agatha, House of the Harkness, Kevin the Chaos, and Evan Darkle Diaries and constant rebranding that hasn't exactly the spring confidence in the spin-off the instant. It gives the impressions of a project that means just struggling to find its play, whether this part of the quickly marketing campaign or a desperate attempt to salvage the show. One thing clear, Agatha has its work out in the for the train capture audience attention. The show itself wrote in the aftermath of WandaVision, a series that, for better and worse, left a lasting impact in Disney Plus' peripheral lineup. WandaVision started off as an exciting experiments project for MCU with its unique blend in the sitcom nostalgia and superhero intrigue. But like many Marvel's ventures in recent years, in development into the visual formalizing CGI-driven action by the end, there's something Agatha All Along trailer seems actually aware of, deciding a large portion of its runtime to reminding viewers of WandaVision's high points, as if Marvel is banking the nostalgia to pull viewers back in. It begs the question, can Agatha truly stand up to merits? The promise itself centers on Agatha Harkness, one powerful witch, who was stripped with ability and imprisoned by Wanda Maximoff at the end of WandaVision. Now, with Wanda simply out of the picture, Agatha has been freed from magical bonds. However, she is still without her powers. The only way to raise them is the embarking on journey along mystical witch road, a path frogs with dangerous trails, but one is that promises to restore her abilities provided the survives. The joining her is in the diverse and simply all witches, including talking the male witch, adding the predictable with twist the dynamic. It set up the fields in time like a half-hearted attempt to check off the box in the modern superhero tropes returned with the well-thought outer narrative. One area where the show seems to making a conscious effort is in its use of practical effects. In a world where Marvel has become notorious for its over-relying on the CGI got all alongside itself apart, utilizing prosthetic animatronics and real-world sets in the behind-the-scenes featuring and practical designers highlights their deciding to bringing the worlds in the witches do life and the tranquil physical elements. It's a welcome change from the often the thriller CGI heavy environments. We have the grown-ups and moments to in the MCU, however, while the visuals to may offer a more grounded aesthetic. It's rising to be seen whether this will enough to evaluate the overall experience of the show, where Agatha seems to stumble the most is in its tone as the writing from the trailers and the sneak peeks. The humor feels painfully is a process, with many jokes and falling flat, cutter in the hand, talented actors with a knack for both comedy and drama is given the material that doesn't seem to do her justice. The writing list into heavily on gags and quirky one-liners which might have worked in WandaVision's serial setting, but seems out of the place here. Even the interaction is the every plaza known for the sharp, deadpan humor doesn't seem to inject in the show with charisma so desperately, and yet Plaza often excels in the roles and that allows her to explore darker. So more nonsense humor feel wasted in project that doesn't fully understand how to use the talents. Perhaps in the most glaring issue with Agatha All Along in sense and the purpose was the show reality for its spin-off of spin-off focusing the character who, while in trading, wasn't exactly clamoring for her own series, unlike Loki or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which are capitalizing on fan favorite characters with a dip in the dice in the larger MCU. Agatha Harkness doesn't carry same weight. The audience with might and the driven shows the same incredibly niche who wants on the WandaVision or want more the same whimsical magic. So, but the one more important thing, but lessen the intrigue that's made our original series the captivating. So this shows in the tone also raises the question about the target demographic with a largely female cast, camply exponential teams, sunk dance numbers, and cringe-worthy attempts at a humor. Agatha All Along feel like it is aiming for an oddly specific niche, middle art, edge viewers who enjoy the heard which concepts in a time when superhero what is really at marvelous broader appeal to vending, banging on a narrow audience could be risky more. So where doesn't the leave Agatha All Along in an area where the MCU popularity declining and audience are more selective about the concepts there's engaged with the show's face uphill battle and biggest challenge with the confusing viewers that this quickly mystical adventures worth their time in the crowded market superhero consensus, while the practical effects and the nostalgic dice at WandaVision might the drop in the sum, the shaky tone, the forced humor, and the lock and declare the target audience in the club and the prove to be its undoing. The reality is that in the Agatha All Along was greenlit during a very different time for Marvel, a time when the studio could simply do not run. But in 2024, with winning the interest and the string of the lackluster project, the show feels like a relic of a bygone era and struggling to prove their relevance. In unlike the breakout hit, Marvel needs to reverse the current trajectory, and while After my offers some interesting moments, it's hard to seem to be becoming anything more than creates the footnote in the MCU ever expanding lineup. Ultimately, Agatha All Along may appeal to small and targeted audience, but it's unlikely to reignite in the broader position for Marvel's what like the universe. For a franchise in the desperate needs of a course correction, this show feels more like a Deuter, a strange, which a fielded side quest that, while not without charm, probably wants to steer the MCU back on the track. So that's it all, guys, in the end of the video. If you like it, don't forget like, share, and subscribe. So see you guys in the other video. Goodbye, Felix.